Hi guys. Sorry, I'm having issues with sound, but we have a jam-packed night for you, okay? Jam-packed. All right, guys. Hit that like button. Thank you for watching. So first thing we're going to talk about is the Diddy verdict. Also, jurors are speaking out now, so I got some exclusive clips for that. We also have some ongoing lawsuits. Cassie is now being sued by one of the former escorts. We also have a Miami Housewives recap for the week. And lastly, I have some exclusive information for the upcoming Big Brother season. So I need everybody to please smash that like button, hit that like button so you guys can know when I go live. Also hit that subscriber bell. So I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you so much. So yeah, guys, send me some love. But don't, like you guys know, Diddy was found guilty this week. Guilty of 2 counts. The first count was for prostitution of Cassie and Jane Doe, but not guilty, interestingly enough, for the sex shop. Not guilty for the sex trafficking, and not guilty for the RICO. So, guys, 1 second, guys, 1 second. All right, guys. So we got some idiots over here. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Smash that like button. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're in the chat. I want to know who's here watching with us. We have a jam-packed night once again. Guys, Diddy. Did Diddy do it? There's lots of things going on. Diddy was found guilty this week. We're going to recap the verdicts. Let me find some clips for that. I thought I had one up, but it's not working. So thank you guys for watching. So, guys, for those of you guys watching again, we found out. Hi, Lauren. Shouts out to you. Thank you for watching. For those of you guys just now watching, you may have just found out that Diddy was found guilty of not all the charges, which, interesting to me, it tells me that the jurors thought that Jane and Cassie were prostitutes because he was found guilty of prostitution, not the sex trafficking, which shows me that the jurors didn't think that they were victims. If they would have thought they were victims, they would have been found guilty. He would have been found guilty for the sex trafficking, the coercion, things like that, the RICO. So I think the prosecution overreached with this one. They definitely overreached. Okay. They should not have had Jane take the stand. I stand on that. I think that they had a strong enough case with Cassie alone, and I believe we would have seen a not or a guilty conviction for both counts with just Cassie. Jane kind of ruined it. Jane kind of took that from it. I stand on that. Jane was confused at times. It was almost like she was testifying for the defense. It kind of was like, was that really your witness or was that Diddy's witness? Because she was confused and less than honest. But anyways, Diddy tried to get out of jail. And at 5 p.m. that same day, the judge rules, not so much. I don't think he's this innocent guy. Also, we see recent activity of his violence because he was kind of violent with Jane. He had a case with her. Allegedly, she testified that he was violent with her in June. So just a year ago, he was violent with her. So due to that, he was not released from jail, guys. He was not released from jail. So he is to remain in jail as of right now until October 3rd. It was very, very shocking what happened. I kind of feel bad for the guy. I'm not going to lie to you. Because the thing is, the charge that he was found guilty of, it could be, anywhere from 5 to 20 years, but they're not as serious as a RICO. RICO was life. RICO was 30 years to life. This was not as serious. So for me, it's like, why not let him out? You know what I mean? Why he has so much money. Why couldn't the judge let him out and say, look, I want you to have a sober coach that lives with you. He has the money. He could definitely do that. I want you to pay for daily testing, have whatchamacallit, have daily meetings with a probation officer, pay the money for a probation officer. Why not just do that? To me, that would have made sense. It could have made a lot of money off Diddy. Go stay at Star Island, have the ankle monitor. You can't leave until you can't leave Star Island. You have the ankle monitor. The rest of the time until October 3rd, have him remain at Star Island. I don't see what harm that would have did. But, nonetheless, unfortunately, that didn't happen. Guys, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Let's see Mark Agnifico, his attorney's response to the not guilty charge. Thank you guys for watching. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. I really appreciate all the views. Shouts out to the gaming toilet. Shouts out to lovely me. Shouts out to Theo. Kif Plays. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the views. Let's hit that like button.
Bail denied. Let's listen into it live.
Victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system. You saw that the Southern District of New York prosecutors came at him with all that they had. They're not stopping, but one thing stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens. And we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right, or certainly right enough. They acquitted him of the sex trafficking, which he was absolutely innocent of. They acquitted him of the racketeering conspiracy that he was absolutely innocent of, and all of the components to it. The kidnapping, he was innocent of that. The arson, he was innocent of that. The obstructing justice, he was innocent of that. And that is no longer just me saying that. That is the verdict of our jury. So today's a great day. Today is a win. Today is a victory of all victories for Sean Combs and our legal team. And I want to say one thing. There are very few people around whom a legal team could coalesce and become one. And Sean Combs is that person, and we are all blessed to be part of it. And I am now done speaking to you, and I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Garagos.
All right, I first want to thank my client, Sean Combs, for trusting us, myself and everybody here, this incredible dream team that he put together. Without him, we would not have been able to do this. He is incredible, and I want to thank him. I want to thank the jury for putting such great care into this case. They came early every single day, and I want to thank them, as I said in my opening, standing between all of us and the drastic consequences of the criminal convictions of sex trafficking and RICO is a jury of our peers. And I thank them. I want to thank the judge, and I want to thank, despite the terrible conditions at the MDC, I want to thank the good people who worked there, who ensured that we had sufficient amount of time to prepare for trial. It is extremely difficult to prepare for a federal case in the conditions at the MDC, and they did everything they could to make that happen. I want to thank them. I also have been saying this since the beginning of this case. Sean Combs has not sexually assaulted anybody. I've been saying this for months. We've said it with each lawsuit that came out, and today that was proven true. The media got it wrong about Sean Combs every single day for nearly 2 years. I ask that for every time you guys see a civil lawsuit, criminal.
So yeah, guys, the media to me didn't necessarily get it wrong. I do think that Sean Combs is a kind of a monster. He's kind of a jerk. He's kind of not a good guy. But nevertheless, I think who got it wrong was the United States federal government. I think it was an overreach. I think Sean Combs was it was an overreach. And let me give Sean Combs his flowers because he did it.
We did it. Yeah. We did it. Sometimes you got to get a good laugh out.
So yeah, he did it. We did it. He did it. But that doesn't mean that it's over. Okay, that doesn't mean that this is the end. No. It's just the beginning. Lots of lawsuits. We're going to talk about them tonight. Guys, for those of you watching, I want everybody to hit that like button. If you're watching on X, hit that, give me a heart. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button. I see 8 of you guys in here, but I only see 2 likes. So please hit that like button. Shout out to everybody that was watching. I appreciate all the support and the love. Hugs and kisses. Yeah, so we're going to have fun tonight because like Diddy, all we do is win. Let me play my little. So yeah, guys, the jurors are starting to speak out. I have a clip I would like to show you guys. Smash that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all the love and support from everyone. We're going to have fun tonight. Let me play this clip of some of the jurors speaking out.
The jury convicting him on 2 lesser counts. One juror revealing what was behind their decision, saying it had nothing to do with Combs and his celebrity status. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
Tonight, for the first time since rendering a split verdict in the trial of Sean Combs, one of the jurors is speaking out, telling ABC News Combs' celebrity had no influence on the outcome. Our decision was based solely on the evidence presented and how the law is stated, said the juror, who asked not to be identified. We would have treated any defendant in the same manner, regardless of who they are. The jury convicted Combs of 2 counts of transportation for the purposes of prostitution. They carry a maximum sentence of up to 20 years in prison, though he will likely get less. The jury found him not guilty of the most serious charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
One thing stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens. And we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right, or certainly right enough.
Combs remains here at this Brooklyn jail after a judge denied his request for bail, citing a propensity for violence and saying Combs poses a danger to the community. Combs' lawyers will try to convince the judge at a hearing next week, Whit, to move up his sentencing from its tentatively scheduled date in October. They're hoping to get him out from behind bars as quickly as possible. Whit?
Aaron Katursky, thank you.
Yeah, guys. So pretty much as you can see, it's pretty wild here. The jurors are pretty clear that they looked at this fairly. An alternate juror did an interview with CNN. I'm gonna play that clip for you guys. We're gonna watch it a little bit. So just so you guys are aware, I was a juror at the start of the year. And let me explain how it works. So, or last year, I should say, in 2024, I was a juror. How it works is you're told to come back. You're told you're a juror. There's more than 12 people there. So you're like, hey, wait a minute, what's going on here? You don't know you're an alternate. So you're having to pay attention. You don't find out you're alternate until it's time to deliberate. And they're like, so and so number 7, so and so number 5, come over here. Oh, by the way, you sat here for nothing because you were the alternate. You were the loser who doesn't get to decide. It's the worst feeling in the world, but that's the life of a alternate. Let me share this to screen. Let me see. Stop sharing. Let me get the other clip up, guys. Guys, hit the like button if you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. We got lots to talk about tonight. We're on the Diddy part of my story tonight. Let me see. Okay, here.
We didn't, even in the jury room, no one treated everyone, we all were equal because we didn't know who was who.
Would you have acquitted him on RICO?
I think reading all my notes and looking back at the evidence, I probably would have reached the same conclusion as the other jurors.
What was it about that charge?
I don't, the thing with the, when it, because we were asked and the judge had instructed us that we have to find, we have to find him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Mm-hmm. And I think there was always a little bit of doubt in people's mind. And I think it was a tough case to prove, especially the first one. And, there was always a little bit of doubt there, even from the beginning.
Why did you doubt?
I think some of the charges, some of the witnesses, if you look at it one way, but then when you were listening to the defense, you could see it their way as well.
Were there any witnesses that made you think, I don't believe this?
There was one that I think unanimously we kind of all said like, wow, like it was almost like watching like TV. It was like, like when I think her name was Dawn Richard, the one.
Mm-hmm. They didn't believe none of these
on
women.
Cross-examination. I mean, I never saw such a cross-examination. It was very impressive to watch.
What was it about it?
I think just how the defense, got into her and really made her, look very not credible. I mean, I even wrote in my notebook that it was like a takedown.
Really? And that was pretty early on.
That was pretty early on.
From the opening statements, did you have a mindset of who you thought had a better case?
No. I think overall, from the way I look at it, both sides presented really good. Both sides presented themselves well. We were very impressed with the prosecution and the defense, how they, the professionalism, how they carried themselves. I mean, it was really good lawyering, as they say.
Racketeering is notoriously a complex case. Did you feel that the prosecution presented enough evidence to support that there was even an enterprise?
No.
I think they did the best that they could. But I think it was a tough case to prove.
Why?
Yeah, because there was no enterprise.
I mean, when you look at the charges, kidnapping, arson, forced labor, the government had one side.
This is what kills me about the whole arson thing, guys. Listen, we can't go off hearsay and allegedly. It has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. So the evidence of the arson for Kid Cudi's car was a woman's DNA was found. How is that Diddy? How can we prove it? Unless there's a text message or him on camera telling a female to go burn the car, coercing them, putting a gun to their head. That would be the only way. And that's what I struggle with. All of this was allegedly. The only thing that was straightforward in this case, in my opinion, was the prostitution, which is what he was found of. It was very clear to me that Jane was his ex-worker. It was very clear to me that Cassie became that at one point, but Cassie and him had a 10+ year relationship. It was complicated. That's what he wanted in their relationship to please him. At any time she could leave, and at any time she did, when she finally found someone that was willing to take her seriously, which was the trainer, she left. Let me continue playing.
But then the defense, they had some pretty good rebuttals to it. So I mean that I think added some doubt always, and I think in people's mind.
You didn't hear from some of the people the government said were co-conspirators, like employees,
like Christina Karam,
for example, or D-Rock. Yeah. Did that affect your thoughts about the case?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have wanted to hear from them?
We always thought that maybe we would hear from them, but maybe we also understood maybe why they wouldn't be called.
Why?
Because maybe they didn't want to testify, or they wouldn't really be proving the case, or maybe it would be not advantageous to be called. So, but honestly, we were just waiting till the end, until when the judge gave his instructions and how to interpret the law. Because I think everyone really didn't have anything made up, their mind made up, or in any way. It was really, everyone was waiting to see how the definitions and how everything was going to be interpreted, and what they were to be looked at. Exactly.
So important.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the sex trafficking cases, because of court charges. Obviously, Cassie Ventura testified visibly pregnant for days.
Yes.
How did her testimony impact you in your understanding of the case?
It did. I listened. We listened very intently. It was, I think, 5 days or forever of thing, and it was very riveting. And it was very riveting testimony, and very credible testimony.
You believed her.
I mean, I think we did. I think we did. I mean, she wouldn't have done all this just to come up there and lie about everything. So no.
All right, let's pause here, guys. So it's funny. We're on to Cassie. I'll probably play more of his testimony within the next 10, 15 minutes. But I want to move on to the other topic of the night, which is lawsuits. Okay. So interestingly enough, Cassie sued Diddy, which was the spark of all this. She won, we found out, $20 million. She also sued the Intercontinental, won $10 million, which Intercontinental, if you recall, is the hotel where you saw the infamous video where he was beating her up that was released to CNN. So there's now a lawsuit circulating alleging Cassie Ventura, yes, that Cassie, was not just a victim in Diddy's world, but allegedly involved in the escort activity herself. Now, before we get into it, this isn't just about Cassie. It's about how, this is interesting because tables are turning. Is it a Me Too money grab? Is this a Me Too money grab for this guy? So here's the breakdown. Court records from the federal trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs showed the jury convicted Diddy, as I said, of 2 counts of transporting women for prostitution, but not trafficking. The 2 women was Jane Doe, aka 50 Cent's baby mama, and the other was Cassie. According to insiders, jurors saw text messages, receipts, hotel bookings, and more that allegedly showed Cassie was a willing participant, not a coerced victim. In one message, Cassie said she was always ready to freak off, a phrase that the jury took to mean she consented to participating in group sex parties for Diddy and others. Here's where things get controversial. The defense painted Cassie as someone who may have benefited financially, suggesting she received housing, gifts, and cash that had agency in these situations. But Cassie's legal team and many in the public argue that she was groomed, controlled, and manipulated. So was she trafficked, or was she working as a high-end escort under pressure? The court didn't see it as trafficking. And like I said, that proves they saw her as a prostitute. They saw her and Jane Doe as a prostitute. That's why Diddy walked on the most serious charges, and the media has been quiet about what the jury actually saw. Okay? Again, this is what I told you why I wanted to go to New York City, why I went. The media wasn't getting this right, and I knew it. The media was being biased. The bloggers that are there, aka Tasha Tell, is extremely biased. I don't know. I hate to bust y'all bubble. If y'all follow her, that's y'all's business. But she was extremely biased. Days that I was in the court, I would go back and watch her show, and I'd be like, it didn't happen like that. You telling the version you want to tell, girl. And again, it's fine. The person that was the most biggest and unbiased to me, in my opinion, was Armand. He gave the fairest. He was fair. He gave me laughs, but he was fair. But anyways, go into this now. Okay, we got a lawsuit. I'm gonna play the lawsuit. I'm gonna play what dude's saying, and he interviewed with Tasha K. I'm gonna play that interview too. But let me get right into it. Let me play the clips. Guys, if you're watching, please hit the like button. Hold on. Let me play his clip. Here we go.
Sued Cassandra Ventura for damages involved in the Sean Combs sex trafficking trial. And I'm looking through social media and I see a lot of the women out there, particularly black women like myself, who choose to victim shame me and try to do everything they can to discredit me, because the truth is that the loss of the Sean Combs trial was a loss to the Me Too movement and to hating women like the women who are trying to insult me. So let me tell you something, you women out there who would like to insult me. This is my story. I was paid by Cassie Cassandra Ventura for 8 years to be her male provider. I didn't have to be the best looking guy. I was the best in bed. And because I was the best in bed, guess what? I was given this arrangement. I was coerced. I was drugged. I was manipulated with promises of money and gifts for over a period of 8 years to continue to be this woman's provider at her expense and at the expense of Diddy. Now, at the time, legally, I didn't know my rights as well as I do now. I didn't create this conflict with Cassandra Ventura. She created it with me. She's the one who decided to bring up things that happened over 10 to 15 years ago to hold Sean Combs accountable for what was a partial truth. She's the person who introduced me to the U.S. Attorney's Office. She's the person who told the U.S. Attorney's Office about our relationship. So in essence, those out there who want to hate on me, who want to say that I'm attacking Cassie, you should realize the truth, that Cassandra Ventura, your idol, did this to herself. She exposed herself to liability when she got on the stand and decided to mention me as the male escort who was with her when she overdosed and Diddy made her have sex with him. That was a lie, people. Cassie had just woke up from sleeping 8 hours. Myself and Sean Combs were exhausted. We wanted to go home. Cassie's the one who forced that sexual encounter. People, she tells you that Sean Combs made her have sex on her menstrual cycle. I can't speak for anyone else but myself. But I know the one time that did happen, that Sean Combs was not responsible for that Cassie, in a drunken, intoxicated, hormonally imbalanced state due to her period, manipulated and forced herself on me during her menstrual cycle. And what I mean by that is I had no knowledge she was on her menstrual cycle because the room was completely dark. She manipulated the room. She manipulated the environment to get what she wanted, and then she totally got up like I was the one who should have been grateful. You're on your period. That's disgusting, and I deserved more respect than that. As a man, if I had laid down with a woman and forced myself on her and orgasmed in her and she got up and it was leaking out of her, guess what? I would have raped her. So by statute, by case law definition, Cassandra Ventura sexually assaulted me. I'm not looking to destroy Cassie. I've given Cassie more than a year to settle this before things got...
Guys, let's pause. Shout out to Kelly Corinne. Thank you for watching, boo. She said it's witchcraft. I have to agree. For those of you guys watching on TikTok, I am playing clips on my YouTube, link in bio. So shouts out to everyone watching. But I want to pause. I'm going to play the rest of what he's saying. But let me break this down for everybody watching. His name is Clayton Howard, aka Dave. He went by Dave. He is a male escort. Basically, what he's saying is that he was trafficked across lines for prostitution by both Combs and Cassie. He said that Cassie allegedly convinced him to take E, have unprotected X, resulting in an STD, then aborted a pregnancy without informing him. He accuses them of forcing him into prolonged X activities and causing physical harm through manipulation and coercion. What's the legal context? Well, Howard wasn't a witness in the federal criminal trial, but he was referenced repeatedly via flight logs, hotel stays, and testimony. The criminal jury found Diddy guilty for transporting prostitution, Cassie and Jane Doe, but acquitted on the racketeering and the X trafficking. The civil suit is independent of the criminal verdict and seeks damage to alleged abuse and harm. They're saying that Cassie's role, previously she was a victim, a witness. She's now being named as a defendant in a new lawsuit, okay? It's shifting the narrative. This deeper complicates public perception. Was she coerced or complicit in the alleged escort networking? Okay, as Diddy awaits sentencing, as I told you guys earlier, he will be sentenced on October 3rd. The suit keeps Cassie and the case in the headline, and it raises pressing questions, like I said, about the power dynamics and consent. So I just wanted to give backstory. I just wanted to let you guys know the backstory. I'm going to play the rest of his clip. Let me play it now.
Out of control. The problem is she's being supported by women like you who would choose to attack male victims instead of accept the truth, which is that a woman could have lied to get revenge on the ex-boyfriend who broke her heart and hurt her. It happens, people. They say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that's true. If you hurt some women, they will do everything in their power. If you hurt some men, they'll do everything in their power to hurt you. But I want to end this by saying this. Cassie did this to herself. They say he who sets out on the course of revenge should dig 2 graves. People, Cassie dug the grave that is Clayton Howard herself. Cassie got on the stand trying to destroy Diddy. She should have took her $20-30 million and walked into the sunset, people. She should have never gotten on the stand and created further liability for herself by telling more of the lie that she created to get this man sent to prison for his life. She made a mistake when she got on the stand, people. She made a mistake when she got on the stand and lied about the events with Clayton Howard. Clayton Howard is a victim of Cassandra Ventura. Clayton Howard didn't ask to be in a relationship with Cassandra Ventura while she was sleeping with numerous men per week. I get it. You all think I was a nasty male prostitute sleeping with women, all different women all the time. It actually didn't work like that. To have certain types of people that can pay you that well, what you really have to do is you have to focus on people who are affluent. And affluent people don't engage in activities like that. So I might have had a client once a month. The truth is I was only a male escort for 2 years. I continued in the profession because Cassie and Diddy continued to pay me very well. And I was an ex-con. I needed money. I was trapped in the situation. I'll admit that. I didn't know what to do. But does that mean I should be victim shamed because the same thing that happened to women all the time happened to me as a man? No. And for those women out there, for you black women who choose to shame me as a black man for telling my truth, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Damn. Okay. All right. I gotta cut him off. I'm sick of the wait. I'm a victim. Listen, the thing is this. Shout out to Kelly Corinne. She's the queen of victim shaming. I mean, she says it. I'm just giving her flowers. I'll say this. How were you the victim? You chose to sleep with her without a condom. You should have been using a condom, bro. Sorry. My sympathy goes out the window. If the odds are you aren't the only one. You thought you was special though, because this beautiful woman, I'll give Cassie her props. This beautiful woman was sleeping with you. So you thought you were special, but you learned in 2024, you weren't when that indictment came out. You learned you were one of 27 this week in 2025. Because between her and Jane Doe, they hired 27 men. So you found out you were no victim. So sorry for you. But again, I don't feel bad for Cassie because I do think Cassie was a role in this. Cassie was paying the money. Cassie was finding the guys. If Cassie is a victim, so is he. Facts. Tell him again, Kelly. If Cassie is a victim, so is Clayton. Clayton needs his money. Run him his money, Cassie. What happens to Cassie if she died? The legal analysis. If Clayton Howard's, aka Dave's, claims are true, here's the breakdown. If she lied under oath in depositions or sworn filings, guys, we're going to do a legal lesson today. That's perjury. Perjury. That's a federal offense, especially when you're in federal court. It's a federal crime. Prosecutors don't always act. But if the lie was material, she could face charges. If she lied publicly on her lawsuit and Howard proves it, Diddy or others could sue her for defamation, fraud, and emotional distress. If she knowingly gave Howard an STD, which, if you guys recall, she testified and said she would go and do those freak-offs with sores, with all sorts of things wrong with her, with discharge, with uncomfortable things. She testified to that. Cassie testified to that. Okay. So what do you think is going to happen? Okay. If she knowingly gave him an STD or lured him into X acts under false pretenses, she could be sued for negligence, battery, and actual fraud. If the feds believe she was a co-organizer of the freak-offs and not a victim, she could lose her protective status and risk being labeled a co-conspirator in trafficking. What's the worst case scenario? She's hit with civil liability and criminal exposure, but the bigger blow may be to her credibility in court and in the public. Howard said that she ran the freak-offs. She lied. If a judge believes him, the legal tide may turn. AKA, I think Cassie, fork over some of that $20 million, boo-boo. Fork it over. Run this man his money, because I think you owe him at least $1 million, okay? Because you know you had things going on down there. Okay, nobody put a gun to your head, homie. Like, the reality is you knew it. And again, this is the issue I have. I mean, You guys, this is 2025. If women can be victims, men can too. Okay. I actually also have a clip with one of another escort. His name is Don the Dealer. He did an interview this week with the Punisher, or with Vlad TV. Shout out to Vlad interview. I'm about to play his clip, guys. Guys, if you're watching, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Let me play this clip. Share my screen. Hold on, guys. Guys, if you're watching, you guys can go follow on YouTube, link in bio. I'm live streaming right now. I'm just talking to get you guys in the room. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is what Don the Dealer is saying. So if y'all want to hear Don the Dealer, go on over to my YouTube, link in bio, Nora Christine Live on YouTube, and come watch. Let me hit the play button now.
Right, yeah.
Now, what happened around 2016?
2016, I just moved to Miami from Atlanta, and that's when I got the call for a celebrity client to meet at the one hotel on South Beach, and that ended up being Diddy.
Thank you.
Okay, now previous to that, now you did adult films, but were you actually doing escorting, meeting with women, couples, and so forth?
So at that point in time, 2016, wasn't doing any adult films. I didn't do that until 2023 is when I started, or 2024. So to that point, it was just, I had a job as a market development manager for a small startup company. And then I ended up getting into the escorting business just by way of modeling. Somebody hit me up off Model Mayhem. It looked like spam. First name Garen, last name Teed. Pitched this idea of being a gigolo. Had no idea what that was other than Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo. So I'm not a miracle worker. I can't make the dead rise or this. So I was just like, we're gonna eat this. We're gonna eat this Italian food, and that's gonna be it. But that's how it was. The whole thing was described to me. It was like, this isn't sexual.
I feel bad for Cassie. She had to do Dave. Dave is the best.
For monetary gratification. Like this was just going to be dates and stuff like that. So, and that's really what it was up until this point in time.
Okay, so you're working for Cowboys for Angels, and you get a call that there's a celebrity client, and they don't tell you who it is yet.
No, they don't tell me who it is. All they told me was it was a celebrity client, last name Lopez. And then they went on, as I'm on the way to the hotel, they're like, yeah, so just ask for Mr. Lopez. And in my head, I'm like, this is a straight male escort agency. So I'm trying to figure out how does this work into the situation? I'm like, they knew that wasn't my thing. So I'm thinking in my head, like George Lopez or Jennifer Lopez. It could be like, I'm thinking any Lopez celebrity name. So then I get to the hotel, and the front desk clerk walks me upstairs. I said, I'm there for Mr. Lopez. Get up there. It's like Latin music playing in the hallway. So I'm really thinking this is a Hispanic person, celebrity, still trying to rack my brain to figure out who it is. And door opens up, and Diddy's just standing there in like a black wife beater and some shorts.
So
and he's like, what's up, man? I'm like,
it's gonna be a Chico.
First thought was like,
there.
it's Diddy. Like this is, and then I was like, oh no, it's Diddy, because at this point in time, people still, those accusations were out there. So I'm like, I had to double take that for a second, but it was chill. Like walked right in, and it was pretty easy. Got in there. It looked like an episode of Cribs. It was nothing but Ciroc from like bottom to top of the shelf in the refrigerator, drinking Ciroc, sitting, chilling. He offered me a joint. We smoking. He seemed like he was very, very cool guy. He just got off of some knee surgery and was doing some type of commercial about his recovery at that point in time. So all in all, when this very beginning, it was more so very chill, just kind of hanging out, smoking, chilling. Not until like a couple hours into that did he tell me like, oh, what were you doing tonight? And you're about to have the best Valentine's Day of your life. And then Cassie walks out.
Okay, so Cassie comes in red lingerie.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew who she was right away.
Immediately. I'm a year younger than her. So I grew up with the Me and You song and stuff. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I don't believe that I'm really here right now, but let's see where this goes. So.
Okay. So then the two of you started to talk.
Yeah, we started talking. He left the room for a second, and mind you, when I got in there, I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I just noticed like there's a lot of towels, white towels on all the couches and the furniture and stuff. There's a red light over in the side. They're playing like, you know, some very vibey music. And there's like a ton of baby oil like scattered about everywhere, like more than any one man should have, you know, and especially in a hotel room, right? So he had got up and left, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, I made the joke like, there's so much baby oil and candles in here. Like, one wrong move and we all gonna die. You know, we all gonna blow up in this thing. So, but she was very communicative in the fact that she was joking and very playful with me. She told me that she picked me from the site, and it seemed as if this was something that they'd been doing for some years. They said they'd been doing this for a while too. So as far as like the vibe of the night, I took my cues from them. They pretty much knew exactly what they wanted. Again, felt like they'd done this before. And that's pretty much how it started out.
I'm gonna make him bigger, guys.
So this sort of talking and, you know, sort of intimate kind of conversation that lasted for hours.
Yeah, I mean, I was initially supposed to be with her for about 4 or 5 hours. I got paid as soon as I got there. And I'm thinking, again, up to this point, a lot of what I'd been doing was just hanging out. And
his mouth looked weird.
At that point, yeah, it was 4 or 5 hours into it. I thinking I'm about to go home, and then all of a sudden he was like, "All right, you know, we're gonna turn this thing up a little bit." The music changed. More baby oil comes out. Baby oil and KY. I'm like, who got this? You know, it's
more oil.
Baby oil and KY comes out. It's heated. They've been heating the baby oil the whole time that we talking in the tub.
Heat that baby oil
so
up.
This was like they kind of knew what they were doing. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah, that's when it kind of started off. He was more so wanting us to just talk to each other. You know, his whole thing is like being very verbal. So he was in the kitchen in the dark with a bottle of Ciroc. And we're sitting on the couch, and he was like, "What do you like about him? You picked him from the site. What made you pick him from the site? What do you like about her?" You know, he was more so, he wanted us to talk and act like he was not there at all. So that's kind of how it progressed. But it was a very long progression over the course of hours and hours.
Right, because at one point he said, "It's the love hour."
Right, and that's when when the love hour happened, and he became Brother Love. Then it was like a totally different, the vibe changed. It was more so like the music switched up. He was asking, did he want to refresh drinks and stuff, like a cool host almost, but you can kind of tell like they had some type of formula of where they wanted the night to go. So I was just along for the ride, honestly.
Okay, so you guys start with sexual contact in the beginning, and that actually leads up to penetration at the end?
Yeah, it was more so just physical touch. So there was lots of baby oil around, as I said before, and he was like, "Okay, why don't you put some baby oil on her?" And then she was like, he asked her, "Do you want you to put some baby oil on him?" So it was more so that talking, caressing, stuff like that for hours, like for an ungodly long amount of time. And at a certain point, she would start to kind of like come towards me to kind of like move things along. And he would be like, no, go back. You know, you just tell him you're moving too fast, you know? So he never was telling anybody what he wanted them to do. He never gave demands to say, touch him, do this. He would say, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you like that about him? It was.
All right. So I'm going to end this. I've seen enough of this. This is, I guess, how Diddy was in 2021, 3 through 24, 25, or 2022 to 24. That guy was picked for Jane. Now, the guy, the Tasha K Bombshell, which I know you guys saw, Tasha K interviewed the guy that is suing Cassie. Okay, I'm about to play some clips from that interview. Guys, hit the like button if you're watching. If you're watching on my TikTok, link in bio. We are actually live streaming on YouTube, so get in here and watch these clips with us.
Her vagina, shifting his anus in my view. All of a sudden, he jumps up and he starts to act like he's, going to eat a vagina, which he never did. And he buries his face in her vagina. While he's doing it, he tells me to keep masturbating so she can watch. Okay, no problem. So now I'm watching her masturbating, but he's eating out her vagina, shifting his anus in my view. So it's distracting me because I can't see her vagina. I can see his anus. So I'm like, what the hell is this? So
He did not want to see the booty
I'm gonna let you
hole.
finish the
She
spin.
said, let's move on.
Okay, go ahead.
So I see what he's doing, and at first I didn't realize what he was doing. I just got annoyed, so I moved to another side of the bed. I believe I moved to the right just so I would be at an angle to see past him. He waits maybe 2 seconds. He scoots his ass back in front of my view. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? So I'm getting mad. I'm like, what is this guy doing? So I move back to the left side of the bed. Sure enough, a couple of seconds later, he does it again. Finally, I said, yo, what's wrong with you, man? You blocking my view with your ass. Can you stop? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. He got up. He gets back in the seat like he's going to start his voyeurism again watching. And he tells us we can go ahead. And she starts laughing at me. She's like, yo, you got to go. I'm like, I got to go? Why? And she's like, yo, you got to go. I'll see you later. She's like, yo, you passed though. And I said, I passed. What do you mean I passed? She was like, yo, you passed. She gives me a big hug. I didn't really know what she was talking about till probably later that night when I thought about it.
Also,
Why is
mind you
because
guys,
he was trying to
this
entice
dude, hold on, pause. This dude said he was an ex-felon. So she is sleeping with dudes unprotected that just came out the penitentiary. Let me play my Nene niece.
Damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me. You wish you.
You done lost your damn mind if you think I would ever do that. You done lost your mind. She lost her mind. He lost his mind also because he thought he was special. Okay. And so pretty much he's suing because he's saying that she gave him an STD. She also had a abortion behind his back. So yeah, this is crazy, guys. I have more clips. And then we're going to move on to the next topic of the night. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find the rest of the clips with her and this dude. And oh my God. Okay. He also talks about, he has a clip where he talks about what happened with other S workers. Guys, if you're watching, please hit the like button. I appreciate all your support. Let me play this other clip with dude.
There was one sex worker. He said that he got paid $5 million because he contracted herpes.
From Diddy? From
Yeah.
Cassie, Diddy. I believe him. When I saw that interview, I knew that the things he
And
was
he
saying.
said he want his millie, so he wants his millie. He wants his millie.
When I saw it, he said I was a sex slave for Cassie. It was like, oh my God, this guy's talking about my life. This was me. Who the hell?
He was taking this shit up because he was like trying to kill Trump, and then he comes out with this interview talking about, yo, I was a sex slave, and we looking like, what?
He was younger. He was more attractive. You know, just like me. I'm
Okay.
older now, but at the time I was bigger. I was younger. I was more attractive. It was easier if you were in that lifestyle and you had a certain type of body, the physique, the chest, the arms. It wasn't really hard to be noticed by the right people. So I got noticed by Cassie, and that was pretty much history.
Dave said, you better leave him alone. This is what Dave about to say, because he about to run and get this money from Cassie.
While you were running your mouth with him, I was running to the bank, sweetie, and depositing a Trump check. Honey, Donald Trump. While you were running your mouth with.
He said he about to get that Trump check from Cassie. He wants his millie. Run him his money, okay? While we over here laughing. While we over here laughing, he's about to get this check. Guys, I want to hear from you though. If you guys are watching on the rewatch or the recap, if you guys can comment when you rewatch this, tell me, do we believe Dave? One's in the chat if we believe Dave, two's if we don't. I believe Dave fully, okay? You know, Dave, get your money. You know, shout out to you. I'm happy for you, Dave. I wish you all the best. But we're gonna move on. We moving on to our main topic of the night. Okay, guys, hit the like button. Hit the like button. We moving on to our reality TV recap. Okay, and we are talking about the Real Housewives of Miami. You know, I'm a Miami girl myself, so shouts out to everybody that's a fan. I'm loving Miami. Miami is giving me traditional Real Housewives vibes, but they're also giving me selfish biatch vibes. Okay, so much to say about Miami, guys. So much to say. Stephanie Shojoji made a grand entrance, okay? And let me tell you, I want to say she's one of top 10 richest housewives out there. Her husband is a developer of the top real estate firm in Miami. He's a real estate developer. I don't know if you guys know about real estate developers. I met one a time or two in my day. They got lots of coins. Okay. I want to play this clip about her. I'll give you background on her. She's also Colombian. She's in a age gap relationship. So let me play this clip and we'll talk about her.
50. Age difference was a really big deal for me. I did not want to be seen with an older gentleman because of the misconception of people thinking that if you are with an older guy, you are probably a gold digger. And then I met Masood, and everything changed. I knew at a very young age that I wanted to be filthy rich. I'm sleeping and I go like this, we gotta make money. I did have moments where I thought like, hey, maybe you will want kids. Maybe you should freeze your eggs. And then I looked at my calendar and I was like, yeah, I don't even have time to go to the doctor to freeze my eggs. I don't really have time to go pee. I lived my entire childhood 3 months out of the year in Colombia. I was in a farm. My parents came to this country with nothing but a backpack. Being a first-generation American has made me who I am today. We have 1,400 units coming up. We need to figure out how to sell them, how to rent them, and how to stay on top of the market and beat everybody, be on top, and always be the best. There is no room for failure. You have to keep going until you make it. If one door closes, go find another door.
I'm about to play my Diana Ross, All We Do Is Win, because this girl's winning. So yeah, all we do is win, win, win. Okay. So she's winning. Like I said, she's probably the richest one out of all the chicks that are happening. She has a private jet. In the opening scene, we see her flying Larsa from Miami to Orlando just to pick up her dog, Pebbles, from her parents. They bond over caviar and their lavish lifestyles. She is married to entrepreneur, like I said, Masoud Shajai, and she's focused on building wealth and connections. She has no kids. She said she's too selfish for kids. I mean, as you can see, she's wearing the Versace. I'm sure she's very selfish. So, guys, what do we think about Stephanie? We like her. Let me know when you guys watch the recap if we like her, if we're a fan of hers. There, we do have a preview of next week's episode. Stephanie, Taryn, Lisa, a new one for being late. I'm gonna play this exclusive clip, guys, exclusive preview for next week, just to show you, since we on Stephanie, how she gets down, because she don't play. Let me play this clip. Friends, because I don't play about people being late. I hear you, honey. I don't like when people late either. She said, you done lost your mind. Let me play that clip.
When you get your damn mind, you call me. You wish you.
She said, Lisa, you lost your mind. I realized about Lisa, she's very self-absorbed. She's very ungrateful. Larsa is self-absorbed too. They were besties, so it fits why they're best friends. They're two very self-absorbed people. Speaking of Lisa, another clip that's exclusive, guys. As you guys know, Lisa and Larsa, they started the season very rocky because Lisa's boyfriend and her still are following Larsa's ex-boyfriend, Marcus Jordan, aka Michael Jordan's son, online. They said they don't appreciate that. When I break up, you need to break up with him. So that was the first strike. Secondly, Lisa is like, look, you were not this great friend that you're saying. Let me play this clip where she sums up the situation with them, and then we can continue talking about it. Guys, hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching. Let me play this.
Hi guys, I had to just get on here because there are so many lies I have to correct, and I have to set the record straight. Larsa keeps saying that we were best friends for 15 years, and that is not true. We would see each other at events, but we didn't actually become friends until 4 years ago, right before the reboot. That's when we started talking and texting, and that is how our friendship began. We became friends because of the show. We bonded through that experience just like Marcus and Jody did. So tell me how she is mad at Jody for the exact same thing. This show literally creates friendships, but calling yourself a good friend over and over does not make it true. Good people don't have to announce it. When has she ever really shown that she was a good friend? Like through her words, her actions, her empathy, none of it. Look how she reacted when Nicole joined the show. Look at her reaction to Gertie's cancer diagnosis. Her idea of a friendship was showing up to a court hearing for me that she was subpoenaed to be at. So that is not being a friend. That's literally following a court order. And then Jody and Milan, and her telling people that Jody went crazy, like literally went crazy at an off-camera Philip Plein dinner and disrespected her. There were more than 80 people there and nobody saw it. How convenient. No cameras. I'm pretty sure Philip Plein has security footage, so let's pull it. Let's pull it. But you know what? It would prove nothing because it didn't happen. Also, let's look at who Jody is. He doesn't raise his voice, not to me, not to his daughter, not to my kids, not to anyone, not even his ex-wife. And she would tell you that. But Larsa is literally known for provoking people, yelling. She started that moment in Milan. She created that drama. This wasn't real. It was manufactured to fit her storyline. She's done it before. She'll do it again. So tune in next week as the Lisa Pippen tour continues.
Let's talk about selfishness, though. So this homegirl, her dad allegedly was on his deathbed. But what I don't understand, if that is the case and her dad was on his deathbed, why was she in Milan? Okay, this is how selfish these broads are. Her dad ended up dying, so she ends up flying home. And to further support the drama that she has with Larsa, I'm gonna play a clip of what she does. I can't even put words to it. These are low down individuals. Let me play this clip.
Photo. I'm not even sorry about it because I go, this is what I'm dealing with. No, Lisa. I'm her father in the casket, Lisa. Yeah, I sent a picture of my dead dad.
She said it to Pips.
Who does that? Who does that?
She said it to Pips. Oh, no.
Who does that? That's so low down.
Dead people cannot travel through cyberspace.
I said,
she sent a picture of her dead father to Larsa to what, drive home a point. This is how self-absorbed these women are. There's no shame. This is crazy. So at Marisol's surprise celebration, tensions were bubbling over Milan's drama and everyone asking who's the mole. Lisa confronts Larsa, accusing her of gossiping during Lisa's father's wake. Lisa even texted Larsa a photo of her father in the casket, captioned, "This is what I'm dealing with." Larsa just stays eerily silent. I don't blame her. What is there to say? Also, we saw Julia was hosted a baby shower for herself and Martina from her friend, who's friend of the show now. Julia apologized via text to Gertie for throwing water at her. And shouts out to Gertie's husband. He is a real one. I'm going to play this clip to show you how much of a real one he is. This is how much he loves his wife.
One of them had the common sense to be like, this might not be a good idea. This woman's coming out of recovery, all these things. This is like junior high school. I already went through.
This is how crazy this relationship is. Nobody cared about Gertie. Nobody checked on Gertie. Nobody said, Gertie, girl, you doing okay? Although it was just water, nonetheless, she's in recovery from having cancer. She's had like 4 or 5 surgeries. Like, there's no empathy with these women. And also, shout out to Kiki. Well, not really shout out to her. All skin folk ain't your kinfolk, okay? Or all skin folk ain't your kinfolk. She don't got Gertie's back. She don't got the Haitian camaraderie going on. Gertie shared how Julia deeply violated her. She said she felt degraded. Gertie felt betrayed, and no one's forgotten the water thrown or the baby shower tension. Larsa keeps an eye on Lisa's new boyfriend, Jody, questioning whether he's using her for access. She also talks about how crazy his eyes look. It's a lot going on with this episode, guys. My summation is Stephanie is going to be bringing a lot to the show. She's actually really wealthy, which is great to watch. I mean, the whole reason why we watch the Housewives is to see their clothes and how affluent they are in their lifestyle. So Basically, episode 4 doubles down on the season's biggest theme. New money enters the mix. Trust gets shredded and emotional wounds are surfacing. With alliances tested and hearts on the line, things are only getting messier, okay, in Miami. So, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you like my weekly recaps, we are going to have our weekly show on Friday evenings. I think we're going to call it Reality Roundup. So, definitely get ready. This is the kickoff to it. We're gonna keep recapping the Housewives. My Atlanta's over, but OC starting in the next few weeks. So we'll be talking about Miami and OC when it starts. But Big Brother comes back as well. So Big Brother had some changes. We're gonna talk about some previews tonight. Got some clips I'm gonna play for you guys. Hold on, guys. Guys, hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that smash button. Let's look at the house. This is the new changes, new Big Brother house.
Of mystery. That's the theme for season 27, according to CBS, which also just revealed this first look at the BB house, aka Hotel Mystère. And yes, there's definitely an Agatha Christie vibe happening here, and some horror because that looks scary. Highlights include a reception area with 75 key boxes, a sleeper car bunk room with the Big Brother house's first bunk bed since season 1, plus there's a Venom lounge and a poison bar. The poison is metaphorical. CBS also revealed that the Thursday, July 10th 90-minute premiere will include a masked visitor, a secret accomplice, and the arrival of a mystery house guest. The premiere will be followed by another 90-minute episode on Sunday, July 13th. Head to tvline.com for more and let us know.
All right, guys. So basically, it's a summer of mystery. That's what they're calling it. The summer's contestants won't just be entering the Big Brother house when they arrive. They will be checking into Hotel Mystery, complete with a fancy accent and everything. However, before we get more into the Hotel Mystery theme, CB has announced twists like a masked visitor, a secret accomplice, and the shocking arrival of a mystery house guest whose identity will remain under wraps, guys. So definitely this is a summer of a lot of surprises that we have coming our way. Lots of surprises coming. Let me show you guys more pictures of the house. Let me see. Guys, hit that like button if you're watching. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Let me show you guys the previews of the house and some pictures. So this is the nice liquor area. They got concoctions going on. This is downstairs. Kind of has like a French vibe to it, guys. This is a bookshelf. That's cute. Also, we have pictures of the cast. Do we? Thought I saw it. I thought I had it. Let me see. This is what it looks like. This is coming Thursday, July 10th. So just in time for our Friday show, guys. So this is exciting. Let me see if I can find any. Oh, here we go. This is the Big Brother 27 cast. Definitely pretty diverse cast, so that's interesting. Probably the most diverse I've seen them yet. Hold on, guys. Let me put that back. Put myself on the bottom while we have the screen up. Also, guys, we can only speculate as to what the premiere twist will hold. They said that there's a secret room, throwing all the way back to season 1. There's a poison bar. They transformed into a suspense-filled hotel, complete with secrets, hidden passageways, and a mysterious vibe. House guests are welcomed by a wall of 75 key boxes filled with skeleton keys and other clues that might reveal themselves later in the game. They have a towering 22-foot wall and a balcony lined with giant plaster chess pieces. They have an attic bedroom of oddities. They have a sleeper car bunk room. They have a rooftop garden kitchen. They have a secretive wine cellar, just a perfect spot for whispering and secrets. There's no wine in it, they say. A Victorian conservatory lounge, 13-foot green velvet lounge and a plum tree for quiet strategy sessions. Venom lounge and poison bar. A boxing ring gym. That's nice to blow off some steam and to stay in shape. So let me share this screen, guys. I have more pictures that I don't think I had before, guys. Hold on. Let me share the screen, guys. 1 second. All right, here we go. This is another picture. So that's the reception area. That's cute. That looks nice. Hotel Mystery. So that's the bathroom. That's a nice theme. Like I said, it gives me like French, New Orleans kind of a vibes. This is the bunk room I was telling you guys about. This is nice, nice upgrade, nice different scenery. It's cool that they are putting money into their set like this. Yeah, it gives me like French, New Orleans type stuff, type vibes. Summer mystery. So yeah, guys. So as time goes on, hopefully, I'll have more information about the cast. I'll bring you guys all the tea. If you guys enjoyed this, please hit the like button. I appreciate you guys for watching. I will be back here next Friday night. We're gonna make this our reality night lineup. And if you guys are watching for the first time, please give me a subscription, tap the like button. I will be back next week, Tuesday and Thursday, for the New Party podcast. I am hosting Tuesday night. I don't know what the topic's going to be, but Thursday night, we have a super panel. We will be talking about FBA versus Black immigrants. So we have a super panel, lots to discuss. Friday, we will be doing in real life content. I'll be going to Charlie Kirk's Turning Point, and I'll also be talking to the Un-F America tour people because I know they have lots to say. We'll get some interviews in for you. So guys, thank you guys for watching. God bless. Have a good evening and happy 4th of July.